And they're off.
Further faster, the best independently owned outdoor stores, and then further faster, the best independently out. Oh my God.
You're going to keep this in.
Further faster, the best independently owned outdoors store in the known universe. Whether you're heading out on climbing, paddling, tramping, or running adventures, look no farther than Further Faster for all your gear and expertise needs over the summer or winter. Matt, you need to update this. Head over to 57A Buchan Street, Sydenham, Aotearoa, Christchurch, or hit them up at furtherfaster.co.nz. Oh, man, that was garbage.
It's great. It's great. Their gear's not garbage.
No, I'm not.
They've got good gear.
Just the guy talking.
Just further faster, they're in Christchurch. Rocky is hairy and so is Badger. Jules is nice and Jacob is delicious. Go to Further Faster now.
Oh, further faster, they're in Christchurch. Rocky is hairy and so is Badger. Jules is nice and Jacob is delicious.
Go to Further Faster now.
Dirt Church Radio.
Episode 323 of Dirt Church Radio. Hi, I'm Andrew McDowell.
And I'm Ali Pottinger.
And we do not have Matt because he is sunning himself in the sunshine.
He posted a photo of, what was it? There's some photo of Matt's something. And I said, you've got a double sign because in the background there's Dirty Mo's. You need a photo with that, Matt. Did you see that?
Mate, if someone goes on holiday, I immediately unfollow them. I don't want to know.
Oh, do you?
No, I just haven't seen
the
it.
The green-eyed monster is just too much for you, Andrew.
I don't want to know what you're up to.
I'm happy for him. I want to see all the photos of him enjoying himself. He so deserves it.
Absolutely. He has been going super hard lately, so I am stoked for him.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that means you've got us.
Yeah. The rookies.
The rookies attempting to do an entire show. But that's okay because very excited today we have Jean Beaumont on the show. And
who is not a rookie.
Oh, my goodness. The epitome of a veteran, experienced athlete.
Yeah.
So that's good. She's got us covered with some level of professionalism. Ellie, anything interesting going on in your world?
Not really, just survived the very rainy Easter weekend and just a bit of quiet time really before heading over for UTA. So,
that is exciting.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be big. Yeah, what about you?
I got to run with a couple of people yesterday, Marco and Muzza, who are doing the 100 mile at UTA. So this was like their last long run. Mm-hmm. Murray was backing up from doing Te Araha the day before. So that is a big weekend. But both guys moving well, good climbing chops. So I'm excited to see how well they go. Otherwise, the rain and everything else has actually given me a really good excuse to be super lazy, which has been really nice.
Good. I hope that the Easter Bunny visited you and you had some Easter eggs.
Yeah, I actually still managed to have my cake and eat it too, which was get up early enough to, let me rephrase, the Easter Bunny got up early enough to get all the eggs outside for the kids to find in the morning, and I still made it to my 8 a.m. run out west. So it was winning. It was winning on both counts.
Living the dream.
Oh, and Formula One qualifying before that. So it was a big morning on Easter Sunday.
Come on, McLaren.
Yeah, we start talking Formula One now that Matt's not here. Yeah. He is not an appreciator of the fine arts. We should probably crack on with...
It's the greatest run ever. It's the greatest run ever.
Greatest Run Ever, brought to you by Squad Run. Give their 4-week special coaching trial a go. You can find a link on the website www.dirtchurchradio.com. This is the part of the show where we ask you to write into us and tell us your greatest run ever. Doesn't have to be a race or a mountain summit. Might just be a run around the block, something that's sung to you for some reason. Send it in to us, dirtchurchradio@gmail.com, and I will let Ellie take it from here.
This, I have to say, is a bit of a literary masterpiece, this one. Mm-hmm. I thoroughly enjoyed the imagery and I'm going to crack on with it. Dear Ali, Matt and Andrew, I'm a repeat offender and this is written a bit late, but I wanted to share my greatest run ever of 2025 and to date so far since the last adventure in summer. 2nd of January 2025, and it had been a clear, cold night. I set off from Braithwaite in Cumbria, England, with my husband James in the darkness to do the Coaldale Horseshoe Run. It takes in some of our favourite fells and starts with a tough 3 miles ascent up Grisdale Pike. There are a few versions you can do. The version we did was the fell race route, plus a fell called Causey Pike. We carefully avoided some ice on the short stretch of tarmac before joining the trail. The stars were brightly shining and we could spot one other head torch miles away in the fells, with the lights from Keswick and surrounding hamlets showing up clearly in the darkness. Settling into climbing and running the flats and downhills, I saw a flock of sheep, clear the trail as I approached, lighting up their eyes, the only company apart from my husband. Already, the faint glow of sunrise was outlining the fells around us, orange, yellow, pale blue and darker blue. There's a fairly technical section just before the top of Grisdale, and the top came much quicker than it felt like it usually does when in the daytime. There was a dusting of snow on the peaks, and the shadows cast from the moonlight made for an awe-inspiring, eerie, moody and atmospheric scene lit up by my head torch. It's a really fantastic descent from Grisdale before you can choose your path in all directions, down the valley to the left, over to Hopegill Head on the right, or ahead to Crag Hill. We went the direct route up Crag Hill, which is also a little scrambly, but in the slightly frosty state was fast moving, and the golden yellow and orange lines of sunrise were rising once we reached the trig point. It was magical. The sunrise colliding with the snow and the fells was the very best. There's a well-known S-path that zigzags down Sail Fell after Crag Hill, and this was a fun descent before climbing up Causey Pike. We affectionately call Causey Pike Knuckle Mountain. It's from the A66 road that leads from the motorway M6 junction north at Penrith, driving towards Keswick. It's very clear in the skyline, 4 bumps that look like your knuckles when you clench your fist. We met a family who were collecting the Wainwright fells, enjoying a cup of tea at sunrise together, ready with a sled to find some snow. All that was left to do was descend, climb a final time up Barrow, the hill of my childhood trips to the Lake District, and then descend back to the car. Though we've done this route running or hiking many times, nighttime running creates a whole different landscape and experience. Being outside to see the stars gleaming before turning to orangey yellow sunrise allowed us to witness the best of darkness and start the day right. We returned home with full hearts and tired legs. What a brilliant start to the new year. Thanks for the podcast and happy trails, Fiona Curry.
Oh, that sounds so amazing.
I know, right?
I'm quite jealous.
Yeah.
I don't want to have regrets in life, but if I have one, it would be that I once went through the Lake District and it was pre-running, and I was on a band tour on our way to Edinburgh, and we stopped. I don't even know where I was, but it was by one of the lakes, and just drank beer in a pub instead of going up the hills and everything. I think, man, if only you were into running back then, what a missed opportunity. But that's okay. I'll have to go back and do it properly one day. Have you ever been there, Ellie?
No, and you know what? I'm probably a little bit similar because I did run when I lived in the UK, but I didn't do trail running there. I just ran, kind of along by the Thames. And now in hindsight, I'm like, oh man, I so should have got up to the Lake District. It would have been amazing.
I also have only run along the Thames. Like that is the only running I've done there. It's so bad.
So, it's better than nothing, but
it is
still
better than nothing.
Yeah.
Well, someone who has probably run along the Thames as well is our guest, as she lived in the UK for quite some time. The venerable, is that the right word? Jean Beaumont. Welcome to this episode of Dirt Church Radio. I'm super stoked because today we have Jean Beaumont in the studio. God. Well, over the airwaves with us. And also Ellie Pottinger is here with us as well. Hi, Ellie. Hi, Jean.
Hi.
Hi.
Now, it's often said there are 2 certainties in life, death and taxes. But I would like to add a third, and that is Jean Beaumont getting a podium at Northburn. Obviously, I really want to talk about that fabled race. But first, let's hit the rewind button and go back to when you first discovered that you're actually quite good at moving 2 legs in a direction to go forwards. Aotearoa, that's home, is it?
Yeah, Aotearoa Bay, actually. So on the cliff edge, a little seaside town. Very lucky.
Magical. Have you always lived down that way?
Yep, I have. I have. Oh, well, we've been around overseas a bit, and I've been in Auckland, actually. I lived there for 15 years. So
No kidding.
Yeah,
15 years in the mighty Tamaki Makaurau. Whereabouts?
Hobsonville and Whānau.
Oh, I suppose that counts. Just city fringe living. And when did you start lacing up the running shoes? Is it something you've done your entire life?
Actually, it is. I got my friend who's a year older than me. She used to chase me around when I was 1, so I've been pretty much running since then. At school, they tried to make me play netball, but I refused. And the nuns, I remember they told me off and whacked me on the legs with a shoe because I just wanted to go running. Well, actually, I probably just wanted to go play hide and seek in the grass clippings or something. But
did you say nuns?
Yeah, nuns. Catholic. Oh, good Catholic.
Oh, wow. Are we talking traditional garb here?
I was.
Oh, my goodness. So netball wasn't for you, but running you discovered straight away, I want to do this. Any other sports? Nothing else take your fancy?
At school, no. I like running because all the girls in the team sports, they were really tough. You know, the ones that played hockey and soccer, and I was kind of little and scrawny, and I was really, really scared of those team sports.
Yeah, tough in a different way for you, hey, Jean?
Yeah.
Jean calling other people tough. That's great.
Yeah. And so what kind of running did you do then early on? Like, were you into track or cross country?
Yeah, cross country and harriers, but I wasn't very good at it, to be honest. But we did live on a cliff edge, so I did spend a lot of time running up and down the cliff.
Oh, my goodness.
And sliding down on the flats, and we're like feral free rangers running around. I think I just got my fitness really good, but I didn't realise at the time.
Yeah, you were just being a kid.
Yeah.
And then you didn't lose track of it, so you carried on through your teenage years and early adulthood?
Yep. So I have run all the time. I have never really stopped except, 8 months pregnant or something. couple of those.
It's a good excuse to stop.
Yeah. But, it's funny saying that because I've always been a really half-assed runner, to be honest. Sounds like I'm not, but I actually am. I just call myself a 70%er because I could never be bothered getting a coach. I've never written a training plan ever. I don't even bother taking my flash new watch that I only got a couple of years ago half the time because I can't be asked. I just go, I'll go for a few hours and that'll be fine. So I'm like shocking. I'm just really...
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously going to beg to differ on all of that as far as this 70% nonsense goes. I've had the pleasure of scrolling through your stats page today on the DUV statistics page and looking back on some of your races over the past, wee while, shall we say. I was just so impressed with where you've been and some of the results that you have got. And I just don't think 70% is going to cut it to get, what are we looking at here? We'll talk about Northburn briefly. You finished it 8 times now, is that correct?
I have.
Perhaps more importantly, you've started it 8 times.
I've started 8 times.
Yes.
I think I've helped you out once or twice with the anti-chafing cream, if I remember correctly.
You have very kindly offered to anti-chafe my balls.
You didn't want me to.
Can I just ask?
Your one chance.
Did he want to do it himself?
Dude,
Shock horror.
When you put it like that. I mean, I hesitated, if that counts for anything, but yes, no, that was one of those magical moments up at TW, wasn't it? Yes, I mean, I far more embarrassingly have started 8 as well, but I have not finished 8. And I'm a numbers guy. Maybe it's why I like cricket so much, but your quickest time is 25:09. Your slowest time is 28:38. So in all 8 races, your entire range is only 3.5 hours, which is just incredible consistency. And not to mention 5 wins out of those 8, if I've read it all correctly, which I don't know. Nobody's done that, have they? No one else has won Northburn 5 times, have they?
Oh, I don't think so. No, I don't think they have.
So
Might be 6 actually, just quietly, but that's
Absolutely
right.
could be. I did look quite quickly.
Does it?
The awesome Kanoka, she's beaten me twice. And this is a great example of my slackness. I didn't even know that she was in the race.
So that's what I was
This
going to
year.
ask.
Because I don't even look at those things like that. You know, I just go and, what happens,
So
happens.
that's what I was thinking, does it motivate you? Are you competitive, or would you just show up and just run your race, and if you win, you're like, yeah, cool?
Well, no one is more surprised that I've won any 100-milers, let alone Northburn, than me. I just go out and all the ones I've run, I've just been at the front, and I haven't even known I've been at the front for about 2 laps, and then someone's told me. I've always assumed there's like 10 women ahead or something. And I just, it's just been, I don't know, luck, a fluke. None of the young ladies entering.
No,
or
those
something.
are some fast times, Jean. I'm not letting you have that.
This whole podcast to be us telling you to cut that out.
So, okay, let's imagine that then you find out you're in second place and there's someone that's 10 minutes ahead of you. Does that motivate you?
Well, actually, because this is going to sound really bad. I would normally go like that, say, the awesome Kanoka-san,
Yeah.
I should say. I think she beat me by 8. So I remember these things. So I must be a little bit competitive, but like 8 minutes a couple of years
Yeah.
before. But I assumed she was like 40 minutes ahead.
Ah.
And I kind of thought, I'm just doing what I'm doing because I often feel that I can't really race. So I'm just going as fast as I possibly can anyway. Mm-hmm. So I'm not really competitive in that way until someone ahead of me on the last downhill, the last one where you go down
The 5Ks to go.
to that little road. He said she's just ahead and she's walking, but he had told her that I was coming, and I saw her down below me in a couple of zigzags, and she was running and I just took off. So I do have a little bit of competitiveness sometimes, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think 100-milers are there. I do just go as well as I can, and often I think, if I knew someone's 2 minutes ahead. But usually I never do because I don't ask and no one ever tells me. So often...
That's a mindset though, isn't it? And like if you start any of these, especially the mountain races, with that really competitive, I'm going to crush everybody mindset and totally smash yourself, chances, you might do it. You might pull it off, but also the risk is much, much higher. If your mindset is basically like do everything right, look after yourself, but move as well as you can, but don't try and chase that person up the hill or anything like that, your chances of success, and I would argue this must be something like your approach because of the consistency of your finishes.
Yeah, I think you're right. I just, start. I do it for fun.
Yeah, nice.
It sounds odd, but I actually really enjoy the 100-mile distance. And because I'm a bit slower now, I think I've lost a couple of hours through being ancient.
Well, I mean, your slowest time was in 2023, so you were faster this year.
I did pick up a little bit this year. I think because it was cooler actually, and I've had cramp a couple of times, just slowed me up.
Jean, I have to ask, you said you're ancient. How old are you?
60.
60. And you're still, wow. And you're winning these 100-mile
Few ladies
races.
in my age group,
Yeah.
ladies there.
Yeah.
Well, that is a point though. New age group, there's a chance of a whole new set of records surely.
Yeah.
Should probably get you to run a marathon sometime.
Yeah. Does that motivate you? Would you run for?
marathons actually? Back in the horrible days when there was no off-road trail running, because I'm that old, we hadn't really heard of running great walks, and it just wasn't in my mind when I was younger. But I did run marathons on the road.
What's your marathon PB, Jean?
It's not that good.
Here we go. Here we go again.
No, it's not like 3:14.
That's perfectly good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I think I'm better. The longer it goes, the better, because I can just keep going and going.
Would you do anything flatter? Like, would you go for any New Zealand records for flat stuff, like track or
No,
road relays? No.
no.
Okay.
You mean now?
Yeah.
No. I like to be out in the bush and in the mountains, and most of the 100 miles I've done overseas, they've all been mountainous ones
Yeah.
with awesome scenery. I usually just pick the scenery, the mountains.
Can I do a little bit of a dive into some of those? Because, boy,
Sure.
they look so interesting. Can I kick off with the Ultra Fjord Patagonia in Chile in 2018?
Yeah, that's cool.
According to this, you were the winner, and it's a 100-mile race, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that right? In
Yep.
15:15. Was it downhill? How on earth did you run it that
Well,
fast?
what happened was the weather was, you see, again, that was one, and I just heard about it, and I just love the thought of going to Patagonia and running on the glacier, etc., etc. I thought, who doesn't like the thought of Patagonia?
Absolutely.
Patagonia, I should say. The weather was shit, so they cancelled the first 60K, and so it was only 100K, and then I got to 80K, and they said, "Oh, well, that's it, you're finished now."
Oh, really? That would have been weird.
But it was pretty full on race. It was I'd say it was amazingly marked. The marking was awesome, but there was huge hills, sort of scoria, rivers to cross, and it was freezing. Nobody laughed at my jokes, but like UTMB, when they don't speak your language, and you tell them my standard joke, "Oh, we've got to stop meeting like this," No one laughs. And
It's so true, man. I was trying to have banter at UTMB the whole time and nobody's into it.
know, terrible.
What was the course like? I mean, we're talking huge mountains here?
It was mountainous, but in a lot of bush. So just like the Aotearoa, it's very similar to New Zealand, actually. It's a really interesting place, except they've got tons of animals and things.
Like scary ones?
Yeah, like skunks. Nearly ran across a skunk, and they've got, pumas, which I never saw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Tons of all sorts there.
With the bad weather, it's quite southerly, right? I mean, Patagonia is sort of southern
Yeah,
tip of South
yeah.
America. So was it absolutely freezing?
Well, I think it's the usual story. The faster you go, the less the weather kind of affects you, doesn't it? 'Cause
Yes.
you're on the tops for a shorter time. So they were pulling people off behind me, but I went through. There's a bit of snow. It wasn't actually that bad, I thought. Not too bad. But they had lost, unfortunately, someone through hypothermia the year before, which was really sad. So I think they were being a bit more careful.
Yeah, fair enough. We've certainly had a few races over the past few years where race directors have not called it when they should have.
Yeah.
Look, that sounds amazing. Bigfoot 200, 2017. I feel like I tracked you.
I think I was too, Andrew.
Yeah, I feel like I tracked you way back in the day.
Half
man.
of New Zealand was tracking Jean.
Yeah.
A few times I actually said I was going to do something rather than I have finished.
Is that what it was? You actually told us you're doing it.
She put it out there.
You made the mistake of telling the world. But am I remembering correctly that you were like right at the pointy end and went the wrong way? Was that you, or am I not remembering?
No, that was me. Yeah, I was winning by quite some margin, but I made a fatal error of not having a little sleep when I should have, because my lovely husband was there with the camper van, and I actually said, "Oh, no, I'll keep going." And I knew that the next one was 4 hours behind me, so I had enough time to have a nap. And then as soon as I left on that, I felt irritated and uncomfortable, and I just thought, I should have slept, And then I just started to lose it, because that was the third night up, I think.
So you hadn't had any sleep in the first two?
No. I had a couple of naps, like 20-minute naps, but not enough. And without a pacer. So if I'd had a pacer, then possibly that would have been fine, because I could have just followed them.
Were you allowed one at that point?
Yeah, I think so. Well, so the body just keeps going and going, which is amazing. But the mind, I just, I tried to have dirt naps and stuff, but I couldn't sleep. And I was just hallucinating, thinking. I threw my poles away because I thought they would help me get back to Tony and the fireside, in the lounge.
Oh, my goodness.
And I just had no idea what was going on whatsoever. So I wandered around. Then a guy went past me and he said, "Have you been to this aid station?" I said, "Yep." I didn't even know what he was talking about. So it was a shame because I lost about 5 hours. But anyway, I ended up down at the aid station. I slept for about an hour and a half. I mean, they have awesome aid stations. Gave me a hamburger and then I was fine. They let me go, carry on, and I kept going. I got third in the end, which was good. But
frustrating, I imagine.
Funny how I think it's funny how you're so out of it, but you can actually remember your hallucinations afterwards. It's like a vivid dream, eh? It's really weird.
Well, it's your brain is making those images, which is why you're okay with them at the time, because it's your own mind fabricating what you're seeing, which is why afterwards it remembers it quite well because it made it up in the first place.
Yeah.
I think that's the theory behind it all. I'm always fine with what I see. I'm always like, wow, hey, look, it's a penguin, in the middle of the forest.
I know. Even this Northburn, I was thinking, I could see all the lights and stuff. And I thought, I won't swear. I thought, for goodness sake, I can't tell which of these lights are blooming real or not. And I thought that there was an enormous, alien sort of, what do you call it, spaceship down in Cromwell. I thought, oh, no, that's not real. But
yeah, Cromwell, it looked weird, eh? It looked a bit like a hotel or something. I was really confused.
Yeah, you see it too.
Yeah, I saw it too. Yeah, the old peripheral vision gets real wonky.
That was just crazy.
I was going to ask Jean, so after that, do you have a sleep strategy now with those longer ones? Have you gone, right, okay, I actually need to prioritise sleep more?
Yeah, but I think I can easily. I can do 100 miler without any needing of sleep.
Yeah.
Because I can do one night quite well. Mm-hmm. That's been my downfall, I'd say, at Revenant is I just can't navigate or anything. Once I've done 2 nights awake, it's...
Yeah.
And it wasn't quite quick enough to do it without sleep, so I'd always end up, making some stupid errors and stuff. It's gone la-la. But so, yeah, if I do another 200 miler, I'm not saying I will, but if I do, then, I will have a sleep strategy. But I have noticed that you can just lie down for 5 minutes and shut your eyes, and that can make a big difference.
I totally agree. I think even 2 minutes or 3 minutes can buy you 7 or 8 hours of actually feeling a bit more onto it. It's amazing. It's almost just like that. It needs that reset. You're tricking it into thinking it's had a sleep and you're starting again.
I think your brain, because it's processing so much physical stuff, that if you can just lie and shut your eyes, it can shut off all that part of the brain. And maybe all the chemicals must all, I don't know, do what those chemically things do.
There's probably a book on it somewhere. Someone's probably figured it all out as to how we get away with it. But it is definitely the case. Like,
if I wasn't so slack, I would have read one of those books.
Can I continue talking about your choice races? Indulging me. The Fat Dog 120 mile in Canada. Speaking of hallucinations, your husband said something about deers. Does this sound familiar?
It'll probably sound familiar to you, actually, Andrew, because, when you've done something like that and then you drive in the car home and you're hallucinating on the drive. And if you want to replicate that, okay, don't do it while you're driving.
I was going to say, you're not driving, are you?
Don't drive.
No, if you want to replicate the feeling of being driven home after 100 miler, then take some binoculars and look through those while you're in the passenger seat.
Is that what it was like?
Yeah, it's real freaky. Give it a go.
Some people would say you have the option of closing your eyes and sleeping, but no, how boring. Oh, my gosh. Leadville. I didn't know you'd run Leadville. Top 10, 2015.
Yeah, got the big buckle.
That would have been a good experience. I know a lot of people who want to go and run that one.
Yeah,
How was the big hill?
It was good. Yeah, actually, it was good. And it was awesome. And they put all these, they had llamas up there, I think, or something, and all the Nepalese flags and things. And no, it was really cool. The llamas are true.
I'm sorry, Jean. I feel like I can't believe anything after all these hallucination
Yeah,
stories.
sure there were llamas.
Maybe not. There's definitely some sort of pack animal up there.
Asterix.
It's basically a scene out of a Walt Disney movie. Yeah.
But Leadville was good. It was, again, because I'm, how I am, I just arrived a couple of days before the race, basically. And
So no acclimatizing, none of that?
no, not really. I had 2 days in Denver, and then we had one stop on the way to Leadville.
What's the elevation of Leadville?
10,000
Yeah, she's high, eh?
feet. Yeah.
And no dramas with
No,
altitude?
I was pretty good. I could feel my heart rate going up. I was just walking after the registration. My heart rate was going. I thought, oh, shit, this is just, I can't leave it.
Yeah, you feel dramatically unfit.
Yeah, it was fine. It was hot. The heat was more of an issue. But and I was amazed at the Americans, how they just run with nothing. Like, I was following a guy. It was quite pleasant, actually, to be honest. But he had long hair and he was tanned, and all he had was shorts and sandals. He was carrying a water bottle. Nothing else.
Sure it wasn't. Sounds like an Anton Krupicka moment.
Yeah, maybe.
However you say his
Maybe it
last name.
was.
Maybe you're hanging with AK.
But I had a pacer for that. I had some friends from the States. So that got me the big belt buckle, because pacers, they make a huge difference, I think. But
Absolutely.
I usually don't have them unless someone offers. I don't think I've ever actually asked anyone. But
Well, yeah, you will never be allowed one at Northburn because you're too fast. So
no, won't have one there.
not allowed to podium with a pacer. UTMB, you did it in 2014. When it was cool, shall we say, when it was hip.
Yeah.
Was that? Could you just enter back then? Was there?
No, it was a lottery.
It still was even then.
But I think because again, by sheer fluke, I'd won 300 milers in a row, and I think that had some effect on my number. I got a special number, but I didn't know at the time.
Was it an elite entry? Is that what you're trying to say?
But I didn't know that. I just entered in the lottery, and they said you're in.
You accidentally won 300
Well,
milers.
I wonder if that's why I got in first
It's
time. You see, I
ridiculous.
don't know.
It's an outrageous thing to say, by the way.
And then
I've
when I
never
got to the
accidentally won
start-
any, actually.
When I got to the start, someone said to me, this guy says, why are you way back there? I said, oh, just damn. He says, you've got an elite number on. You need to go into the starting box. I went, oh, okay.
It's so punishing to hear, Jean.
But that race was a bit of a disaster. That's one I do regret, being not really putting much effort into it, because and not taking polls, because I got second in my age group. I think I would have got a first if I'd had polls and thought about it a little bit more. But anyway.
I just having a quick look at your time there, 30.
So it's not that
42.
good, but it was.
It's tricky though, eh? I mean, we've got nothing like it here in New Zealand as far as training. There's something about those hills and the angle. Maybe I'm just making excuses for my own average performance, but those ski slopes that are grass downhills for 9 kilometres, we just don't have anything really like that.
Yeah.
And all the locals just flying down like it's flat.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of going, my knees are about to pop off. This is horrific.
And when you arrive the day before, of course.
you arrive the day before. You don't have to do that. Well, maybe sometimes.
I know. I just arrived the day before, and but it was quite good because I was 49, but because my birthday was in November, I think I was in the 49 to, I was in the 50 to 60 age group. So I was right at the bottom. That's quite good. But
interesting mess.
But I've told that story before. I spent an hour in I got in, my friend was a nurse. She came along, and I thought she'd be really good if I had any issues, but she took one look at my toe, which had, my foot was delaminating and stuff. It was really terrible.
Underneath.
She just sent me into the tent, the tent, and they sort of virtually strapped me down. I was there for about an hour while they were poking needles in my toenails and squirting iodine on them, and it was hideous, the most painful thing I've ever.
At the risk of grossing everybody out, I hope no one's having breakfast. Is this the sole of your foot coming loose.
Yeah, it was coming off. And I think because it had rained quite a lot at the start, that's when I first realised I should have had poles when we were going up the sliding mud thing.
Yeah, right.
So, oh.
Oh, my gosh.
And I didn't have socks, but I learned quite a lot from that race, actually, at the right place. So I had to have wet socks for sort of 70K, and I think and lack of poles, because I haven't had that issue before.
Where were you when they started poking needles into your feet?
I think that was it. I don't remember the names of the places. It was about 120K.
Maybe Arnové.
Yeah,
Maybe
it might have started with a La.
La Foule. No, is La Foule part of it? I should know.
Maybe.
Champelac, it's 130K.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, you still soldiered on. This is perhaps a look into your grit that you must have to persevere when your feet are delaminated.
Yeah, that was painful. But, I think, I haven't had too many DNFs, only in the Revenant.
Sure. That one doesn't, you get a pass on that one. That one's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some serious determination there, eh? I just want to ask you about one more. Like I say, it was just such an interesting list around the world, but you have got second at the London to Brighton in 2012. I mean, that is a storied race, isn't it? I mean, it's historically massive, famous race. What was it like?
Oh, I've forgotten about that, actually. So I did a couple of 100 milers in England too, which was...
Yeah, I noticed there were a couple around that too, yeah.
A couple of those. Yeah, the London to Brighton, it was awesome because I met... because we were over there with the military, and I met just for a year living in London.
Are you the military one, or is the husband the military one?
The husband's the military one.
Okay.
So we went over there for a year and brought the kids and stayed in London for a year, and I'd done Northburn. I got excited and managed to enter a couple of other ones by saying, I'm a Kiwi, and they said, oh, okay, you can enter then even though we're full. So,
oh, nice.
But I met this lady who was doing running. We had a little running group. Ladies from the boys' school, actually. It's quite funny. She said, I'm doing the London to Brighton and I've recce'd the whole thing. Do you want to do that with me? I said, yeah, okay, because I wouldn't have had a shit show without her.
Okay.
But in the end, I paced her to the end and it turned out really good. And she kind of led me all the little alleyways and, bridle paths, and it's like a rabbit warren, the whole thing.
Is it not marked or?
No.
Oh, really? You got to work it out.
Yeah, I think we had a map.
Oh, wow.
No, I don't think it was marked.
So did she win then, if you were second?
Yeah.
So no hand holding.
I let her win.
That's what I'm wondering. Like,
okay.
So there was no hand holding across the finish line. It was like, you're going to go ahead.
Well,
I'm going to drill deeper on this.
I would never have got near the end without her.
So that's why you said go ahead.
Ricky, knowing the route,
yeah,
hopeless. So
yeah,
it was like.
And she wasn't like, well, actually, you've helped me on the day, so let's cross the line together.
Is this Claire Mullinger?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got given second equal. That was nice.
Oh,
of
did
them.
we?
Yeah.
Second equal.
Yeah. Emily Canvan won that year. Not far ahead of you, just 11 minutes.
Yeah, not far.
How far is it? 90K.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, it says 90. You took 11 hours, 90 on that. Yeah, amazing. A winter 100 mile and the South Downs Way 100 mile. You got first in both of those while you were over there.
Yeah.
Just 70% though, Jean? 70%. Yeah, just average. You're a rubbish runner. Yeah.
I am as far as anything training plan goes, but it's quite funny because training for those.
Yes.
So I was on leave without pay, obviously, from my job.
Okay.
And so I would drop. I thought I'll recce the first one and then the second one. I'll recce these runs, and I would get someone to drop Bryn, the younger one, at school, and then I'd catch a train for, I don't know, it was probably nearly 2 hours on the train to Winchester. I thought I'd do it in sort of 4 lots of 25 miles, recce the course, run the 25 miles. Then I remember, luckily, I made the train by 5 minutes back to Waterloo Station, get on the bus. Then I had to get another bus to the school, and I remember thinking, oh, shit, that bus goes through. So I'm saying that SHIT wheel a lot.
Fine.
I thought, that bus goes like in a zigzag way to the school, and I've got to be there in 10 minutes. So I leapt off the bus, and then I'd already run like 50K or something. And I ran 5K to the school. And I was always turning up in my running gear, and all the nannies were there and the ladies in their fur coats and whatnot. I think that was one.
He's like, Mum, you embarrass me.
Like Claire Mullinger and I and this other lovely lady, Susan, we ended up doing 50 miles of that. And we just stayed at a pub in the middle. It was really, it's so cool you can do that in England. You can just go and stay at a pub and have beer and crisps. And then we went off the next day and did the next 25. I think I did the last 25 myself. So,
oh, man, that sounds ideal. Sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kepler. I did not realise you had run Kepler, according to this, 11 times.
Where do you find all this stuff?
The internet's an amazing place.
Even I've Googled myself tons of times. I've never seen any of that.
I can get even nerdier on you, is that your entire finishing range is from 6 hours 21 to 7 hours 4, which is only 43 minutes across 13 years. Which blows my mind. You talk about consistency. That's ridiculous.
Crazy.
And 3 podiums.
Crazy.
And my last stat before everyone falls asleep is that you are on this incredible site, duv.statistic. You are 7th all-time New Zealand female for raced distance just by finishing Northburn, you've popped over 5,000 kilometres of racing kilometres. According to that site. You've probably done more than that, but that's just what the site has.
Because I don't even enter many things because I like to keep stuff free to play in the Aotearoa Rangers or something,
Oh,
yeah.
Jean,
Ellie's going to hit you up for that.
Perfect segue because Andrew was recently called out about his comments about how the SK must be easy. I'm paraphrasing.
Well, if an old fart like me can do it, it must be.
There we go. I rest my case. You hear that, Bradley?
You come on, Bradley.
It's not hard at all, apparently.
I'm keen to hear though, Jean, like what are your favourite Tararua adventures or places to experience? Like what have you done there?
Well, my favourite little part of the Aotearoa would just be the Holsworth Jumbo Run, which is the race, but it's just a really awesome run. If you had to do a long run and you just want to have fun the whole time, that would be the one. And my dog likes it. I've got a little dog. She likes to come. The only thing with it, the disappointment though with the Holsworth Jumbo is when you finish it, you need to go to the Clareville Bakery and get a crisp square. And they shut at bloody 2:00. So I always seem to miss them by like 5 minutes because I get too slack to get up early enough to actually make it.
Oh, Jane.
I think you need some help there. I think someone needs to get in there and maybe wait for you with one.
She needs to phone a friend like, hey, I'm going to be in Clareville 5 minutes late.
I need to get up earlier.
Get a pacer, send them off ahead. Tell them to get shopping.
But the Tararua is it's a special place. It's really neat up there. And it's cool being up there by yourself. That's what I really like, that extra challenge, because it's really scary and it takes years sometimes for me to actually get around to doing these things. But when I do, it's really amazing.
You've been up there many times. Have you done the SK?
Yep, I've done. I've got. Oh, did you not know that?
Well, they don't.
It's not on DUV.
It's a world. It's a bubble unto itself. You see, the Wellingtonians don't like to share.
I'm the only woman with platinum status.
I'm sure that means something.
It means that I can park my Audi. So of course I should be able to park it there anyway, obviously. So I get to park I have a car park allocated to me in the dock car park of Glory at Kaitoki.
Like, really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's Chris Martin.
How many times have you done it?
So I've done.
So good.
I mean, like way less than a lot of people, I've got to say. And I must say, the SK I was inspired by Lawrence Pidcock and Chris Swallow, Colin Rolfe, Tim Sutton, all those awesome people. So I'm just a follower, really, not a leader. But they all inspired me to do the SKs. They really did. But so I've done the main range and the Tarn. You have to do all three under 24 hours. So I've done the main range and the Tarn Ridge and the Valleys SK. It took me 2 goes to do the ton because I fell off the track in the middle of the night. It was like midnight and hematomed my thigh. But I did keep going to the end, but I was 29 hours and I had to be 24. So I had to try it again 6 weeks later because once I want to do something, it has to be done. You know? And then I did the 1500s SK. So,
cool.
Which was all the 1500 peaks. So that was...
Was that inspired by Tim as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was really amazing.
It's clearly something that I need to knock off.
You
the
definitely
list.
do, Andrew.
Add to the bucket list and knock it
should.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been told that I'll be pampered the whole way by the Wellingtonians, so I don't have any excuse, so I can't wait for that.
Pampered. I wouldn't use the word pampered and Aotearoa SK in the same breath.
Really easy. It's really easy.
Yeah, I mean, I see kids are doing it now, so
give it a crack.
You know, single no track. Can't wait to give it a go. But you're not just hanging around the Tararuas. You're climbing to much greater peaks, shall we say? Last year, you summited Aoraki, Mount Cook. Is that right?
Yeah, I did. Yep, that was really awesome. Pretty cool.
And it was sort of a day marked with tragedy, if I read correctly. Did I understand that climbers who took off ahead of you never returned?
Yeah, that's right. That was really sad. Those 3, 2 Americans and a Canadian. Yeah, they went a different route to us, so I don't know. I guess something either fell on them, I guess, or they fell into something, a crevasse or something like that.
Wasn't conditions, the weather was okay?
Was perfect. Yeah.
Jeepers.
That was a shame. Yeah, sad seeing their sleeping bags, in the hut and waiting for them to come back. But
It was a day of mixed emotions because, of course, you've done such an incredible thing yourself, Yeah,
well, it's because my grandfather had done it 100 years before, so that I've got all his accounts of it and everything.
Wow.
So it just inspired me to... Yeah, he's climbed in a couple more peaks too that I'm going to do, hopefully this year.
100 years ago last year, so 1924, well, surely not many people had been to the top at that point.
Yeah, so it was actually 25, February 25 he did it, but the window I had to do it a little bit earlier. But yeah, so he wrote an account of setting up camp on the Tasman River Glacier, hauling kind of stuff up this ridge and then trying to do it and then failing and then just meeting a guide because most people did it guided back then from what I can gather. He met a guide and the guy, Henry Vossler. I don't know if you heard of the Vossler Shield.
Yeah, I know that name.
Yeah, it's a run every year cross country sort of up Mount Victoria. And he set up the Aotearoa Tramping Club, this guy Vossler. But anyway, so my grandfather, he climbed it with him. So
wow.
I just thought, I'll do that then.
You imagine the gear they would have had to wear back then, eh?
Yeah.
Heavy
I've got
it would
a
have
picture
been.
of him actually. Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, we'll have to get you to share that.
What are the next couple then that you're lining up?
I don't know. I don't like to say.
Oh, yeah.
I like climbing. It's really good fun. I like rock. I'm not that good at it, but I like rock climbing. Been up Mitre Peak and stuff, and then I went up Mount Tappy, and then my grandfather's done Alarm, which is near there. He was the first to climb Mount Alarm, so I'm going to climb up there with my son. And then I thought I'd do all the Mitre Peaks in the country. I've let it out now.
So cool.
There's a Mitre
cool.
Peak there too in the Kaikoura Ranges, so I'm going to do that. And I've done obviously the one in the Aotearoa Range and the one in Linford. So, so I reckon, I don't know how many there are. I think there's 4 or 5. There's one in Great Barrier. So
cool.
Should be able to manage that one.
It's just an adventure getting there and back.
It was just fun to have goals though, even if they're stupid. I think just to have something to aim for.
Oh my goodness. Apparently at Northburn this year, we're just going back to hallucinations for a minute. You were running with old Suts. I think it was this year. And you got very confused over what you thought was it blocks of ice? Or you thought it was sheep or something? Does that ring a bell?
The cattle salt licks?
Oh, yeah, that was my first year.
Was it way back then?
I was like a rookie.
Okay, we'll start that question again. Back in your first year of Northburn, what happened?
The ice slick things was like some sort of fancy rock, because I'm a townie and I can barely open and shut a blooming farm gate, you know. I thought they were like rocks, and then when I went to when we're finished and stuff, and I said, "Oh, what are those? The rock formations, Tom, they're awesome." And he said, "Oh, those are just bloody salt licks for the cows."
Well, I still don't know what he's talking about, so I probably have thought exactly the same thing as you this entire time.
Yeah, well, they didn't have them this year.
Oh, they didn't? Okay.
Did you run over that ram that was lying on the road?
Yeah, just chilling, just looking at us.
God.
Yeah. And how about that horrific death, that deer who had got its antlers caught in the fence, going up to halfway through the second loop, going back up to Mount Horn. And it was kind of off to the side, but it was just one of those like, oh, man. Oh, it was, sorry.
I've run with the sheep, though, once on there that was awesome. Like, instead of running with the bulls, I've run with the sheep. And I was in this huge flock of sheep. It was, honestly, it was kind of late at night and I'd been up, but I thought it was about 10 minutes. I don't know. But I was running in the middle of this flock and they just
keeping pace
all around me. That was really cool.
Maybe. I mean, they might have been there. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
You know?
I think they were.
They might have just been rocks.
I'm sure it's all their eyes.
Talking about your son, is that Jack?
Yep, we've got two. Yeah, Jack's the older one.
Because
Jack and Bryn.
I've got questions for you. There are several Beaumont ultra runners from New Zealand on that page, and I just want to know how many are related to you, because...
there's a Jack Beaumont, eh? Well, he is not related to me.
Oh.
Because I'm one of those... I've neglected to change my name, you see. So I'm a Beaumont and my son is a Davies, you see. Yeah, Jack Davies. And I'll take it if he could be.
Jenna, Michael, Sophie, Valentin, Sarah and Andrew, none of them?
My brother is Michael Beaumont, so that might be my brother.
Does he run?
Yeah, he did run. Not so much now, but he runs, yeah.
He's got a Kepler PB of 5:42.
Yeah, that'd be my brother.
Woo!
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought that was impressive.
Well, maybe that helped my running because I used to try and always keep up with him, you see. He's 11 years. So we used to run the Karapoti a lot, which I don't know if you know that, but it's another one of those dump the kids at school, drive 45 minutes to the start of the Karapoti, and then it's 44K, but it's steep and uphill. It's really in the Aotearoa ranges. And then just make it back for 3:30 pickup, covered in mud, and then pretend that you're not tired and try and do homework and dinner and all that stuff.
This is lovely to hear because I've done this many times. Often on a Friday, we'll drop the kids off and then absolutely gun it out west, try and get a run in and gun it back home by 3 o'clock. And then you turn up 1 minute before they get home and you're like, oh, yep, no, everyone's fine. Yep, good day. No.
Yeah, really.
Ellie, did you have any other questions for Jean?
I just wondered, you've been in the sport a long time. Have you noticed changes?
Lots more people doing them, except for Northburn, because they're all still scared of that, aren't they, I suppose? But
yeah, absolutely.
You know, a lot more people doing them.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more pacing and all the points thing, which I don't really have anything against or anything. If people want to, you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but if people want to get more people running and get you to do all their races, and I think the price has gone up a lot. Seems like they're pretty expensive, a lot of them.
Yeah.
I feel $500 is plenty to pay for a 100-miler.
Yeah.
You tell them, Jean.
Myself. I mean, honestly, you know, that's a lot of money, for.
Yeah, I mean we're at $1,000 now, aren't we? For the big, the ones that UTMB owned, it's about $1,000 now for 100 miles.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not convinced that is reflected in the value, but at the same time, I understand it's a business, and if people are signing up and giving them money, then the business is successful. So don't be a Grinch. you know?
Absolutely.
It is what it is.
I'd like to see more women, though. If there's more, but there could still be more. I'm surprised there's not half and half, to be honest, still, but
It is half and half, but not as you get longer.
Yeah.
If you look at the splits for UTA and the splits for Tarawera, it's close to 50-50, but it is heavily weighted to 20Ks and 50Ks. There's actually more females than males, but then obviously once you get to the 100K, and well, not obviously, but once you get to the 100K or 100 mile, it's more male dominated for now. Maybe that's time will tell.
and if you do take it seriously, unlike myself, it's a lot of training time to run the longer distances. You do have to, I've been lucky because I do shift work, so I have daylight. I've always had daylight to train and stuff, but I can imagine if you did, I don't know, 8 till 5, dark, winter.
What is your day job, Jean? I don't
Yeah.
even know.
Oh, air traffic controller.
Oh, really?
Yo.
Are you an ATC? Oh,
Wellies, Wellington at the moment. So,
Wow.
yeah.
oh, and you've just extended your runway. You're about to. We're in the process of doing so.
We're adding some like sand pits to either end in layman's terms, so that
Yeah, I need layman's terms.
but like those truck runoff things, that on downhill similar.
I see. So if the bigger plane doesn't quite make it, it's going to hit the sand.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's what they're doing.
With air traffic control, you have to have quite a unique mind to, I believe, kind of like spatial awareness, and I don't know, because they do special testing, don't they?
Yeah. But it's a great job actually. A really good job.
Do you know Sam Beale?
Who's that?
Sam Beale? He's a ATC for Rotorua.
No, I don't.
Just thought there might be some correlation between air traffic controllers and ultra running.
Yeah,
I know two now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was
maybe.
thinking, do you think that there's something that with air traffic control that would have, benefits to ultra running?
Well, the shift work has benefits because I can be in the daylight anytime. So I can run in the day. If I'm working in the morning, then I could run in the afternoon
Yeah,
if I wanted to,
yeah,
or vice versa. So for that, it works pretty well for me, I reckon. But the downside is that I have to take annual leave. I work a lot of weekends, so annual leave if I wanted to. That's why I don't enter a lot of stuff because I run out of annual leave
That's
probably.
annoying.
that probably means you get good trails though, free. Like you don't have all the trail runners in the weekend on your awesome Tararua runs.
No.
You've got weekdays
But
to
then
do it.
they don't get very crowded though, to be honest.
No.
Only the Aotearoa.
It's just your local 5K,
Well,
isn't it?
True.
What is it? Whakadere now. Dr. Ropata.
Oh, that's nice. Jean, thank you so much for your time. We're going to hit you with one final question. And this is going to be tough, I think, because you have done so much. What is your greatest run ever?
It sounds like I've thought of this, but I actually haven't. But now I am thinking about it, and I would say it would just have to be when it's my birthday, I run, the birthday miles. But because I'm clever, I've been counting down from 50.
I was going to say, you're up for 100K. Oh, my gosh.
So when I'm 100, I'll just go, a metre or something, whatever. Anyway, so I was down in Christchurch for my birthday weekend. And I ran with my son Jack, and he pulled out his first marathon, which was awesome. We just ran around the Port Hills because that's where he lived, and there's nothing better than running with your kids.
Oh, my goodness. That's so
Your
good.
mother, I reckon. It's just really cool to see your kids and run with them and stuff.
Especially marathon, too. Decent distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had 2K to go because I had to do 40K. I said,
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah,
you're
because-
counting down.
yeah, let's. So we did. Yeah, it was cool.
Aw.
And then we went climbing. So that was awesome.
Well, thank you so much. I feel like we've learned a great deal. And I can't wait. I mean, you know, obviously Northburn again next year.
Oh, yeah.
Any international trips on the horizon? Adventures?
Not this year, but we'll see. We'll see.
Don't give anything away.
There's something on the radar.
No, we'll see.
I'm going to tell everyone as soon as I hear. All right, take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jean.
Thanks for having me. See you.
Isn't she just amazing. Like, she's so humble for all that she has achieved. I feel like we should have had to stage an intervention with her in that podcast, just saying, come on, Jean, come on, just own it. Like, you're actually amazing.
I'm disgusted by her. I accidentally won 300-mile races in a row. Okay, sure, Jean.
Yeah, accidentally on purpose.
She even called me a couple of days afterwards just to sort of say thank you, that she enjoyed it. She was out trapping, of course, because she's just a good Samaritan. Mm-hmm. And it was funny because she sort of said, I really wanted to say this and I really wanted to say this, and I hope I said the right things and didn't sound like a dork, which is just awesome because that's totally normal to feel like that. And whenever you have a conversation with someone, it's always after you think, I didn't ask them that or say that or whatever. You're never going to cover everything. No. But I feel like we covered enough, shall we say, and perhaps it leaves room for a Jean Beaumont 2.0 interview sometime in the future. Why not,
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Also wanted to say all the best to everyone doing Fault Line Ultra or the Skedaddle or any other race next weekend. It should be great to see the results from some of those. And, of course, UTA is coming up. How far away is that?
Yeah, well, I will be recording our UTA preview very soon, so watch this space.
Nice. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. I'm Andrew McDowell.
I'm Ali Pottinger.
And sunning himself on the beach is Matt Raymond. We are on all the podcast platforms, so like, follow, give us a rating. It helps.
We're on social media at Dirt Church Radio, email at dirtchurchradio@gmail.com. And don't forget to sign up for our Substack, our weekly newsletter and Aid Station podcast. Remember to write in with your greatest run ever. We'd love to hear from you, and you can read them on the website too. And thanks to our supporters, Further Faster, That's It, Squadron, and our Substack subscribers in the DCR Aid Station crew. Stay tuned for our show in 2 weeks when we have another great guest lined up. Mā te wā, hei konei rā.
Kia ora.